Have you ever stood up from a chair and felt like your legs just didn't want to cooperate? Maybe you've noticed stairs are harder than they used to be, or walking across the room feels more like a chore than it should. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And while many people chalk this up to just getting older, the truth is, there might be something sneaky working against you. And it's sitting right there in your medicine cabinet. Now, don't worry. I'm not here to scare you. In fact, I'm here to help you feel stronger, more stable, and more confident in your body again. You see, there are certain vitamins, yes, vitamins, that millions of seniors take every day, thinking they're doing the right thing. But in some cases, those very same supplements can actually weaken your muscles, especially in your legs. And that's the last thing you need when you're trying to stay independent and mobile. You might be wondering how that could even happen. After all, vitamins are supposed to be good for you, right? And yes, many are. But not all supplements are created equal, and sometimes, even the right vitamin in the wrong amount, or taken at the wrong time, can throw off your balance, your strength, and even your ability to walk safely. So today, we're diving into a topic that's rarely talked about but deeply important. If you or someone you love is over 60, you'll want to stick with me for this. We're going to talk about how to protect your leg strength and avoid some common traps that too many people fall into without even realizing it. Now, I want to be clear, this isn't about blaming anyone. It's about awareness. It's about giving you the tools and knowledge you need to make smart choices about your health. And when you make those small shifts, like reevaluating a daily supplement or changing the way you take it, you can see big results in how you move, how you feel, and how much freedom you have in your day-to-day life. Let's start with one of the biggest culprits, and it might surprise you. It's calcium. Yes, calcium. The very same mineral we've been told for years helps protect our bones. And it does, when taken correctly. But here's what many people don't realize. Taking too much calcium, especially in supplement form, can actually work against you. Excess calcium in your system can interfere with how your muscles contract and relax. It can cause stiffness, cramping, and in some cases, even weaken your muscles over time. For your legs, that means slower response time, weaker lifts when standing up, and less stability when walking. Now, I'm not saying calcium is bad. Not at all. But as we age, our bodies don't always process supplements the same way they did when we were younger. If you're getting calcium from your diet, like from leafy greens, almonds, or small amounts of dairy, you're usually in a much better place than if you're relying on high-dose calcium pills. And here's something else many people don't know. Calcium needs vitamin D to be absorbed properly. Without enough vitamin D, all that calcium you're taking can end up floating around in your bloodstream, building up in your joints, your arteries, or even your kidneys. And that's not where you want it. You want it in your bones, not your soft tissues. So if you're feeling stiffness in your legs, or if your muscles feel like they're not responding the way they used to, it might be time to take a closer look at how much calcium you're getting, and where it's coming from. Sometimes, cutting back on the supplement and focusing more on natural food sources can make a big difference in how your body feels and moves. Now let's move to another common supplement. Iron. Iron is essential for our health, especially for keeping our blood oxygenated and our energy levels up. But here's the thing. Many older adults are still taking multivitamins or standalone iron supplements without really needing them. And too much iron, especially if your body isn't deficient, can cause serious issues. When iron builds up in the body, it creates a condition called iron overload. And this overload doesn't just affect your organs, it can damage your muscles too. In fact, it's been linked to muscle weakness, fatigue, and even leg pain. Think about that for a second. You might be popping that daily iron tablet thinking it's keeping you energized, but in reality, it could be draining your leg strength little by little. And the tricky part is, iron doesn't get flushed out easily. It accumulates. Especially in older adults, since we're not losing iron the same way we did when we were younger. So unless your doctor has specifically told you that you're iron deficient, it might be time to reconsider whether that supplement is really serving you, or silently sabotaging your strength. Now you might be wondering, how do I know if I'm taking too much? That's a great question. The answer lies in your energy levels, how your muscles feel during the day, And in some cases, a simple blood test. If you've been dealing with unexplained muscle weakness, especially in your legs, or if you're finding it harder to walk, balance, or rise from a chair than before, it's worth having that conversation with your healthcare provider. Don't be afraid to ask questions. This is your body. You deserve to know what's really going on. There's one more common supplement that often flies under the radar, and yet, for many seniors, it can quietly chip away at leg strength in a way that's easy to miss, until it's too late. But before we dive into that, just take a moment. Think about how many years you've worked to build the life you have. All the effort it took to raise a family, build a career, stay active, and keep going. You deserve to feel strong in your own body. You deserve to walk across the room without fear of falling, to climb stairs without struggling, to get out of bed in the morning with confidence, not hesitation. Let's take a breath here for a moment, because what we're talking about isn't just supplements, it's about reclaiming control. So many of us have been taking the same pills for years, sometimes decades, without stopping to ask, is this still right for me? And that's no one's fault. We're all doing the best we can with the information we have. But when your legs start to feel weaker, when walking becomes unsteady, or when simple tasks leave you exhausted, it's your body's way of whispering, something's off. Now, the third supplement we need to talk about is magnesium. Yep, magnesium. Another one that's supposed to help, and in the right amount, it really does. It plays a big role in muscle relaxation, nerve function, and energy production. But here's the catch. Not all magnesium is created equal. And more importantly, too much magnesium, or the wrong type, can actually leave your muscles feeling lazy and unresponsive. A lot of people over 60 start taking magnesium for sleep or for cramps. Maybe you were told it helps you stay calm or lowers blood pressure. And again, that can be true. But when the dose is too high, or when your body doesn't absorb it properly, you might start to feel the opposite of energized. You might feel sluggish, weak, even dizzy when you stand up too fast. And you might notice that your legs don't have that same strength they used to, especially during movement. What's worse, magnesium can interact with certain medications, like diuretics or blood pressure pills, and that interaction can sneak up on you. It might throw off your balance of sodium and potassium, two other minerals that are essential for proper muscle function. If they fall out of sync, your legs can feel like they're wobbling under you, or like your feet aren't quite doing what you're asking them to do. And let's be real, if you've ever had that moment where you stood up too quickly and felt your knees buckle or your legs shake a little, it's scary. You wonder, is this just part of getting older? But the truth is, it might not be aging at all. It might be the way your body is processing, or struggling to process, the supplements you're taking. That's why it's so important to not just take supplements blindly, but to listen to your body closely. Ask yourself, how do you feel after taking them? Are your muscles more relaxed, or do they feel weaker? Are you moving easier, or do your legs feel heavier than they should? It's easy to overlook these little signals, especially if you're dealing with a few different health issues or taking multiple prescriptions. But I want to encourage you to pause, reflect, and start tracking how your body responds, especially to supplements you've been taking for years without question. Now, I know this can all feel a bit overwhelming. It's frustrating to think that something you thought was helping could actually be hurting. But here's the good news. Your body is incredibly responsive, even now, at 60, 70, 80 and beyond. Muscles can grow stronger. Balance can improve. And with a few smart shifts, you can start to feel more stable, more energized, and more in control of your movements again. Imagine walking into your kitchen without that little hesitation. Picture yourself getting up from the couch without needing to brace your hand on the armrest. Think about how it would feel to walk around the grocery store without having to stop halfway through. That strength, that confidence, it's not gone forever. It's still there. You just have to clear away the things that are standing in its way. That's why I always recommend having a real conversation with your doctor. Not just a quick visit where prescriptions get refilled, but an honest check-in about what you're taking and why. Ask them if it's time to reevaluate your supplements. Bring a list. Share your concerns. Let them know if your legs have been feeling weaker, or if walking has been harder lately. A good doctor will appreciate your curiosity and your desire to take control of your health. And if you're someone who prefers a more natural approach, remember, food-based sources of vitamins are almost always easier on the body. Leafy greens, nuts, seeds, fruits, these give you nutrients your body can recognize and use more effectively. You don't need a medicine cabinet full of pills to stay healthy. In fact, sometimes, simplifying your routine is the best thing you can do. Just think of your body like a garden. When you overwater, even the healthiest plants can start to droop. They don't need more, they need balance. The same goes for your muscles, your energy, your legs. When you find that right balance, everything starts working better again. You move easier, you sleep deeper, you feel steadier. And that's what I want for you. Not just to avoid falls or weakness, but to feel strong, steady, and capable in your everyday life. Whether it's playing with your grandkids, walking to the mailbox, or just going about your day without worrying if your legs will keep up, you deserve that kind of freedom. So as you look at the supplements on your shelf, ask yourself, are these helping me, or holding me back? If you even suspect they might be doing more harm than good, don't brush it off. Your body knows. And it's never too late to start listening more closely to what it's trying to tell you. It's funny, isn't it? We spend so many years learning to trust doctors, labels, and the vitamin aisle at the store, only to realize later that our own bodies were sending signals all along, telling us exactly what they needed and what they didn't. And sometimes, what they didn't need turns out to be the very thing we thought was helping. Now, there's one more vitamin we need to talk about, and this one might surprise you the most. It's iron. Now hold on before you say, wait, I thought iron was important, especially as we age. You're not wrong. Iron plays a vital role in carrying oxygen through the blood and supporting energy. But too much iron, or taking it when you don't need it, can do more harm than good, especially for your legs. Here's the thing, unless your doctor has told you that you have low iron or anemia, taking iron supplements, just in case, might actually backfire. When you have too much iron in your system, it can start to build up in your tissues, including your muscles. And when iron builds up, it creates oxidative stress. That's a fancy term for something pretty simple. Your cells start to rust from the inside out. And where do you feel it first? Often in your legs. That heaviness when walking. That strange ache in your calves after a short stroll. That restless feeling when you try to relax in the evening? It could be your muscles telling you they're overwhelmed. Too much iron can stiffen your muscles, zap your energy, and make every step feel like you're dragging weights. This is especially true for postmenopausal women and older men. After menopause, women no longer lose iron through monthly cycles, which means the iron that once left the body now stays. For men, the risk increases even earlier because they never had that natural release. And here's the kicker. Your body has no real way of getting rid of excess iron on its own unless there's bleeding. So it just keeps building. Now imagine this. Every day, you're taking a supplement with iron. You feel tired, so you think, maybe I need more. But in reality, your fatigue and leg weakness might be because your body is overwhelmed with what it can't process. It's like pouring more fuel into a car with a clogged engine. It doesn't go faster, it just starts to sputter and break down. That's why it's so important not to self-diagnose when it comes to iron. A simple blood test can show whether you're low, normal, or high. And if you're in the normal or high range, taking more is only going to slow you down. And believe me, no one wants that. Especially not when you're working so hard to stay active, independent, and energized. There's a kind of freedom that comes with learning what your body truly needs, and what it doesn't. And with that freedom comes clarity. You don't have to chase every new bottle on the shelf. You don't have to worry about keeping up with the latest trend in supplements. Instead, you get to simplify. You get to be intentional. And most importantly, you get to feel better. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about, isn't it? Feeling stronger. More capable. More confident when you walk across the room, climb the stairs, or step outside for a morning stroll. And that confidence doesn't come from a pill. It comes from knowledge, awareness, and small choices that support your real strength. And let me say this, it's not just physical strength we're talking about here. There's emotional strength in this too. It takes courage to question old habits. It takes wisdom to pause and reevaluate what we've always done. And it takes real strength to say, maybe this isn't working for me anymore. Maybe it's time for a change. But that change doesn't have to be dramatic. Sometimes, it's as simple as removing one supplement from your routine and noticing how much lighter your legs feel a few weeks later. Sometimes it's the decision to switch from synthetic pills to more natural sources of nutrients. Or to replace that bottle with something as simple and beautiful as a daily walk, a little sunshine, a balanced meal, and a bit more trust in your body's own rhythm. And you don't have to do it alone. There are professionals who can help guide you, nutritionists, holistic doctors, and yes, even your primary care physician when you ask the right questions. But the most important voice in the room? It's yours. Your experience. Your gut feeling when something doesn't seem quite right. That matters. That's where the journey back to strength really begins. So if you've been struggling with weak legs, wobbly steps, or feeling like your body just isn't responding the way it used to, don't chalk it up to age. Don't settle. Because so often, it's not age, it's imbalance. And the beautiful part is, balance can be restored. Your legs aren't just tools for walking. They're the pillars of your independence, the foundation of your freedom. And when you support them right, when you give your body what it truly needs, and remove what it doesn't, they can carry you further than you ever imagined. Keep listening to those little signals. Keep asking questions. And most of all, keep believing in your ability to grow stronger. Not just in your body, but in your choices, your awareness, and your power to thrive at any age. It's incredible how something as small as a pill, something we take with the best of intentions, can quietly shift the way our body moves, feels, and performs. But it's also empowering, isn't it? Because if something that small can throw things off course, then removing it can also bring us back. And that's the heart of what we've been talking about today. This isn't about blame or fear. It's about tuning in. It's about learning that strength after 60, 70, even 80, isn't gone. It's just waiting. Waiting for us to clear away the clutter, stop sabotaging ourselves unknowingly, and let the body do what it's designed to do. Support us, carry us, and move us forward. You've probably heard it said that aging is just a number. But let's be real, it doesn't always feel that way. Some mornings, getting out of bed can feel like a workout. The stairs seem steeper. The couch seems lower. And sometimes you wonder if it's all just part of getting older. But what if it's not? What if that sluggishness in your legs, that stiffness, that sudden sense of weakness isn't because you're aging too fast, but because you've been unknowingly taking things that are slowing you down? Just imagine how different your days could feel if your legs felt solid underneath you again. If you could walk without thinking about every step. If getting up from the couch didn't take a deep breath and a bit of momentum. It's not about becoming 40 again. It's about feeling like yourself again. Feeling strong, stable, and sure. The truth is, you're not stuck. You're not broken. And you're certainly not too far gone to turn things around. Our bodies are incredibly responsive, even in our 60s, 70s, and beyond. Muscles can rebuild. Energy can return. Confidence can grow. But it starts with paying attention to what's helping and what's hurting. So maybe the first step for you isn't a new supplement at all. Maybe it's removing the one that's been silently sabotaging your strength. Maybe it's going to your doctor and saying, "Hey, can we check if I really need this?" That one conversation could change your entire mobility outlook for the next 10 years. And while you're at it, give your legs a little extra love. A gentle walk around the block. A few minutes of stretching in the morning. Some light squats holding on to the back of a chair. Not to push yourself, but to remind your body that you still trust it, and you're still in this together. Because the goal here isn't perfection, it's participation. In life. In movement. In everything that still brings you joy. Whether it's gardening, dancing, playing with the grandkids, or just walking down the driveway with confidence. Your legs are the gateway to that freedom. And you deserve to keep that freedom for as long as possible. So if you've made it this far in the video, I want you to know something. You're already ahead of the game. You care enough to question. You're paying attention. And you're taking ownership of your health. And that's something to be proud of. If you've ever felt frustrated with your body or confused about your health, just remember, you're not alone. So many seniors out there are dealing with the exact same things, and most of them don't even realize what might be causing it. That's why conversations like this matter. That's why sharing what we learn with each other is so powerful. So if anything in this video made you think, made you curious, or helped you connect the dots, leave a comment below. Share your experience. Let someone else know they're not the only one going through this. And if you've already stopped taking one of these vitamins and felt the difference, tell us. Your story could be the wake-up call someone else needs. Also, if you found this video helpful, give it a like. It really does help us reach more people who need this kind of content. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another video about staying strong, smart, and vibrant as you age. Because that's what this channel is all about. Giving you the tools, the truth, and the encouragement to keep living your best life, no matter what the number says on your birthday cake. So here's to your legs. May they be strong, steady, and carry you everywhere you want to go. And here's to you, for showing up for your health, your future, and your freedom. You've got this. And we're right here with you.